You got hit by a driver with no insurance, and now you're wondering if you're just out of luck. You're juggling medical bills, missed work, and car repairs, but no one can tell you if you were actually covered in Maryland. If you don't act fast or know what coverage applies, you could lose your right to recover anything at all. I'm Bobby Zirkin. I practice personal injury law here for over 25 years, and I've helped hundreds of clients navigate exactly this scenario. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how uninsured motorist coverage actually works in Maryland and what to do if the other driver can't pay. That way you know what's covered, what steps to take, and how to protect your rights even when the at-fault driver has nothing at all. What happens if the at-fault driver has no insurance? Let's dive right into this. You've just been in a car accident here in Maryland. The other driver clearly caused the crash. You've got witnesses, maybe even video of the accident. But then you make a devastating discovery that the at-fault driver has no car insurance. They're driving uninsured. Maybe their policy lapsed. Maybe they've never had insurance. Either way, you're sitting there thinking, now what? Am I just out of luck? This is a scary situation, but you are not out of options. Let me walk you through exactly what you can do if you've been hit in a car accident in Maryland and the at-fault driver doesn't have insurance. This is a problem that I see, unfortunately, a lot in our practice, and I can tell you that this system is set up to give people like you at least a fighting chance for recovery. You just have to know where to look and what steps to take. Your own policy, uninsured motorist coverage, that's one. First, Maryland law requires every insurance policy sold in the state to include something called uninsured motorist coverage, commonly called coverage. This is not an extra. It's automatically included in your own auto insurance unless you've specifically rejected it in writing, which is very rare. What does this mean for you? If you're hit by a driver who doesn't have insurance, your own insurance steps into the shoes of the at-fault driver. In other words, your company will pay what the other driver's insurance company should have paid if they had had insurance for things like medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering, and damage to your car. Let's say that you're driving home from work and someone runs red light and hits you. Your hospital bill is $5,000, your car needs $8,000 in repairs, and you have to miss a month of work. The other driver doesn't have a dime of insurance in this scenario, but you do. You file an uninsured motorist claim with your own company, and they cover these losses, or they should, just as if they're the insurance for the person who hit you. How much can you recover from uninsured motorist coverage? That's the question I usually get. Will my insurance cover everything? Here's where it depends on your policy limits. Maryland law says that the minimum uninsured motorist coverage that you can have is $30,000 per person and $60,000 per accident for injuries, plus at least $15,000 for property damage. But a lot of people carry much more than that, especially if they've raised their coverage limits over the years. Check your own policy to see your limits. That's what you're able to recover in this scenario. Say, for example, you have $100,000 in coverage and your injuries, lost wages, and pain and suffering total $60,000. Your insurance should pay up to that $60,000, even if the other driver has absolutely nothing. But if your damages are higher than your policy limit, you can only recover up to your own policy limits. This is why it's important for you to know your own numbers before you ever need them. Also, property damage is a separate limit. So if your car is totaled, for example, the property damage part kicks in up to your chosen amount. When in doubt, call your insurer, ask them to explain your coverage and your limits, and then have them send you a copy of what's called your declarations page or deck page. Will my insurance rates go up if I use my uninsured motorist coverage? A big worry people have is, if I use my own insurance, if I sue my own insurance, will they raise my rates? In Maryland, as long as the accident wasn't your fault and you're using coverage because of the other driver's lack of insurance, your company typically cannot raise your rates just for making the claim. I want to be crystal clear. It is illegal in Maryland for insurer to raise your rates or cancel your policy simply because you used your uninsured motorist coverage after being hit by an uninsured driver, as long as you were not at fault. You pay for this protection as part of your premium. You have every right to use it without being punished. If you ever feel like your rates went up for this reason, talk to an attorney or file a complaint with the Maryland Insurance Administration or MIA. Don't let your company tell you otherwise. What if the other driver has some insurance, but it's not enough? Sometimes the at-fault driver has insurance, but it's not nearly enough to cover your losses. This is called an underinsured driver. Maryland law helps you here too. Let's say you're seriously hurt and the driver who hits you had a policy worth $30,000, the state limit. But your medical bills and lost wages are $60,000. Your own underinsured motorist coverage can step in to pay the difference up to your policy limits. It's exactly like how uninsured motorist coverage works. Here's how it works. If your damages are $60,000, the at-fault driver's insurance pays their $30,000 limit. Then your or UIM coverage pays the additional $30,000 up to your limit. If your limits are high enough, you end up getting the full amount that you deserve. It's important to note you must get written permission from your own insurance company before you settle with the other side's insurance, or you might lose your right to use your UIM coverage. This is a detail many people miss, so always talk to your insurance company and, most importantly, a personal injury attorney before signing anything. Hit and run accidents. Can I recover? Another common situation. What if the other driver just drives away? They hit you and leave the scene, which is illegal, so you have no idea who they are or whether they have insurance. The good news is uninsured motorist coverage applies here too. In Maryland, if you're involved in a hit-and-run accident and the other driver cannot be found, you are treated as though you were hit by an uninsured driver. Your own insurance will cover you, just like in the other scenarios I've discussed. It's very important that you report the hit-and-run to the police right away and get a copy of the police report. Your insurance company will almost always want proof that you made a timely police report before they will cover your losses. Take photos, talk to witnesses, and keep all the details that you can. The more information you have, the better off you'll be. What if I was a passenger or a pedestrian? Maybe you weren't even driving. Maybe you were a passenger in someone else's car, or you were hit while walking or riding a bike. Can you still recover if the at-fault driver has no insurance? The answer is absolutely. If you're a passenger, you can use the uninsured motorist coverage from the car that you were in, or possibly your own policy if you have one. If you're a pedestrian or someone on a bicycle, you can use your personal uninsured motorist coverage even though you weren't in a car at the time. Maryland law is designed to protect you in these exact situations. Here's a quick example. Let's say you're riding in your friend's car and someone crashes into you both, then leaves the scene. The car you're in has coverage. You can claim on that policy. And if that's not enough, and you have your own auto policy with higher limits, you might be able to use your own policy as a backup to that first policy. I know it sounds complicated. That's why you need an attorney. What to do right away after an accident with an uninsured driver. Here are some clear steps that you should take right after any accident, but especially if you think the other driver won't have insurance. First, call the police. Always get a police report. This is your best proof that the accident happened the way that you say it happened. Second, get information from the other driver if you can. Name, contact information, license plate number. If they refuse or they flee, tell the police. Take photos of the scene, your car, their car, the license plate, and anything else that helps tell the story. Get the names and phone numbers of any witnesses to the accident. Report the accident to your insurance company as soon as possible, even if you're not sure about the other driver's insurance status. Ask your insurance company how to start a claim and keep careful notes of every call and every letter. And get that declarations page from your own insurance company. This is also a good time to talk about a personal injury attorney. We handle these claims all the time. We know the tricks the insurance companies will try to pull off, and we can make sure that your claim is handled fairly and fully. You don't have to navigate this alone. Why it's so important to act quickly. Maryland law has deadlines called statutes of limitations for making personal injury claims. In most car accident cases, you have 3 years from the date of the accident to file a lawsuit, but evidence and memories fade much faster than that. Insurance companies may also have much shorter deadlines for notifying them about a claim, sometimes as little as 30 days. The sooner you start, the better your chances. File your police report, notify your insurer, and contact a lawyer right away if you have any doubts or questions. Don't let the insurance company lowball you. Just because your own insurance company is handling your claim doesn't mean they're automatically on your side. They're not. It's their job to protect their bottom line. They might offer you less than your case is really worth, or drag their feet hoping you'll settle for less. That's where having your own attorney will make a huge difference. We know how to calculate the true value of your case, including medical bills, time off, pain suffering, ongoing treatment, future medical bills, and more. We're here to fight for the full amount you deserve. If negotiations with the insurance company don't work, we are ready to take your case to court. If you're hurt in a car accident in Maryland and the at-fault driver has no insurance or not enough insurance, you can still recover for your injuries, car damage, lost wages, and much more through your own uninsured motorist coverage. This is your safety net, built right into your own insurance policy. You pay for it, so don't be afraid to use it. Make sure you act quickly, gather proof, and talk to a lawyer if you need help. If you found this video helpful, the next one is a must-watch. How much is my slip and fall injury case worth? You'll learn how damages are calculated, what factors affect your claim, and how to avoid leaving money on the table after an accident, even if you think it's a minor fall. Click now so you don't miss out on what you're owed. See you over there.